AITAH for telling my daughter that she should leave her pet rat at home now my GF has moved in. I am not oop. Oop is you, throwaway rat problem. Originally posted to our AITAH. AITAH for telling my daughter that she should leave her pet rat at home now my GF has moved in. Trigger warnings. Manipulation. Possible parental alienation. Animal abuse. Implied animal death. Less than. And NBSP. Original post November 23, 2023. Edit about the title. Her mother's home. When I realized a word is missing I couldn't edit it. My M45 girlfriend F45 of 2 years and I have moved in together. Everything is great and she gets along very well with my children. At least with my son. I share custody of my 2 children, M16 and F15, with my ex-wife, F40. There is one problem. My GF has phobia for mice, rats, squirrels. In other words, rodents. This is something we all know and people laugh about it, but it is a serious issue for my GF who can't even see a picture without staring hyperventilating. My daughter got a rat as a present when she turned 15. She brought it home and my GF freaked out and she apparently left the apartment without even noticing that she didn't have her shoes or coat on. I got upset with my daughter because she knows my GF's fear. I told her that she should leave her pet at her mother's house from now on when she comes here. My daughter got upset and started yelling that my GF is being ridiculous and me too. Her rat wasn't the problem so it shouldn't have to be kept at her mom's and that my GF should move out since she's the one who has the problem with the rat, not the rat with her. I told her that we are family and family makes compromises. Now she is saying if her rat isn't welcome then neither is she and she's planning to stay with her mom until her rat is allowed or my GF moved out. My ex-wife called me to tell me that I'm the AW for choosing my GF. I told her she was the AW for getting my daughter this present. AITAH? #info. Yeah. Well, like many here anticipated this whole rat thing was planned on purpose and I have to say it makes sense since I never once had the impression that my daughter even liked rats. I was surprised at the birthday party. My GF and I moved in together about 3 weeks ago and the rat showed up about 10 days ago. I know this now because I have tried to text my daughter about other suggestions like a second rat, a dog, etc. She has made up her mind. It is her or my GF in the apartment. My son told me all of this. He said that my ex-wife and my daughter have been bashing my GF and calling her home wrecker. Anyway, my daughter can live with her mother for the time being because, legally speaking, children here can decide which parent they want to live with at her age. The plot twist is that my son expressed desire to move in permanently with me instead, and I guess that it is because of all the drama. My son hates conflicts and confrontations. Of course, ex-wife is now bombarding my phone because she will be believing that I have put my son up to this because my son said that he will start packing a bigger bag today if I agreed to him moving in permanently. He talked about visiting her instead of living there. And I agreed. This is escalating very fast and I don't seem to have found the brakes to stop the madness. My suggestions made things worse. Thank you for listening. If any 40+ divorced parents have any advice on how to resolve this issue, I am all ears. If it is relevant in any way. I didn't leave my ex. She did. One day she sat me down without forewarning and told me she wasn't happy anymore and wanted a divorce. Everything went fast afterwards and we were divorced 6 months later. It was never an affair or anything, but I think she liked someone but it didn't work. After a few months she said she regretted it and wanted to reconcile, but I didn't feel right about it, and one thing was her finality in her decision, but most importantly I wasn't in love with her anymore. So she suggested us dating again. We were supposed to keep that a secret in case the spark didn't reignite and we would have built up hope in our kids for nothing, but she probably told them anyway. I started dating my now girlfriend around the same time and I fell in love with her. I ended things with my ex. The odd thing is that she cordially accepted my decision. But apparently she hasn't, and I'm reaping what we sowed now. God, it felt good to vent about it here. Thanks again. And again. Any 40-plus divorced parents who would want to talk, hit me up. Absolutely not interested in input from 20-year-old with no experience of parenting. AITAH has no consensus bot. But based on the comments, it was mixed reactions. And NBSP. Relevant comments. Dogadada. That's an intentional move from your ex. And possibly your daughter too. You should consider getting your daughter something that your ex hates or fears. At some point of time. Well, we have been talking about getting a dog, my GF and I, for a while now. Maybe it is time. My children can help pick one out, but I will be clear that my daughter only can be a part of the process if she lived with us on my weeks like usual and left the damned rat with that wretched hag. That started this headache. I think my daughter will agree. She has always wanted a dog, but her mother hates them. Thank you everyone for the advice. I really appreciate you. World Trigger Fanman. Take your son. Accept that you will be estranged from your daughter until she wises up. Then try to fix your life by trying to move on and get on with it with your son. I am in a pickle right now. I don't want my son to be estranged from his her and definitely not from his sister. What will happen when they don't get to live together? It is very difficult situation, but I can't make him. He wants to leave his mother's house. And NBSP. Update December 2nd, 2023. Well, people wanted an update and here it is. My daughter is refusing to talk to me and she has moved in with her mom and said that this is permanent. My son moved in here with me and I can see that he really enjoys it here. I have been blocking my ex-wife's number for periods at a time because I have been receiving all kind of threats and insults from her saying I have manipulated my son against her. My son is a very quiet boy and he never given me any impression that he's been having a bad time at his mother. I only noticed when he moved here and started talking and opening up about how miserable he's been. The rat. My daughter decided to free him and she and her mom drove to the woods and just let it go. Not expert on rats, but that's the story. My GF and I have decided to get a dog. Maybe that would change my daughter's mind about not visiting, although I must admit that life has been so much easier now when she isn't around, making everyone go on eggshells not to set her off. Both her and her mom refuse therapy. Over and out. And NBSP. This is a repost sub. I am not oop. Rip the rat. Those rats you buy from pet stores cannot live in the wild. They are kind of like lab rats. So they used an animal's life for a power play? They killed the rat, WTF. You can't just release a domestic pet animal. Oh, this is just horrible. I'm not surprised the son was having a bad time at his mother's house if she was into this sort of manipulation. And then they freed, i.e. sentenced to death, the poor rat, which a moment ago the daughter couldn't bear to visit her father's place without. Sheer nastiness. I hope that poor little rat was either found by a rat lover or died quickly and painlessly. That poor rat's sad face. I have been receiving all kind of threats and insults from her saying I have manipulated my son against her. Clearly projection. As this is what the ex-wife has done with the daughter towards Oop. Not fair for the children that their mother has been acting this way. Hopefully the daughter comes around. I am absolutely terrified of snakes. I could not handle being around someone's pet snake, so I immediately related to the girlfriend. Phobias are phobias. Then it turned into crazy town and the rat was left to die and a 15-year girl is being groomed to be an awful person by a terrible mom who clearly has way too much influence on her and probably lied about the reason for the divorce. Wow. A revenge pet. Just wow. Flushed exploding head. This one was horrible. Mom is a psychopath and the daughter is one in the making. It's really unfortunate that daughter is being damaged so severely. And while I sympathize with Oop, I wish he wouldn't just give up on her the way he has. I do understand how angry he must be though. Poor Ratty. I worked with lab rats and they were cute and fun. What horrible witches those women are. I just hugged my pet rats closer. I can't imagine my poor sweet rats out in the wild trying to survive. Especially my eldest girl who is almost 3. The thought makes my heart hurt. What kind of a monster does that? You at least try to rehome the poor thing. I've helped rehome so many rats and taken some in myself. The ex-wife is really something. Though situation to handle for Oop. There really is no way to win. Hope the daughter comes to regret her decision. F in the chat for poor rat boy. I could never have a rat as a pet, but would never treat an animal cruelly. The poor wee thing probably died. What horrible people. Since everything has been said about the mother and daughter, let me say this, please. If someone here wants to get rid of domesticated rats, mice, or hamsters, do not abandon them in the wild. While a wild rodent will be able to survive, domesticated rodents do not have the instincts, abilities or the immune system they need to survive. Setting a domesticated rodent free in the wild is nothing less than damning them to a slow, painful, and terrifying death. Pet rat are incredibly social and smart animals. They need at least a friend. The more the better. They need a big cage with time to free roam. They need toys that they can play with and that they can use to solve puzzles to engage their brains. Rodent pets aren't for everyone. And that's okay. But please, make sure you talk to everyone in the household and inform yourself of what the fluffs need before you buy some. They may have a very short life. At least it seems that way to us. But that does not make that life any less meaningful or important. The ex-wife didn't like it when her planned relationship fell through and the Oop didn't take her back after she blew up their lives together. I wouldn't take her back either. The only redeeming feature in her is that she didn't cheat but broke up with her husband first. Now she's alienating her daughter from her dad. But at the least the son is with him. This is disgusting. A fancy rat would not survive in the wild. I'm so angry at you ex and your daughter. They're vile human beings. They let it go in the woods? I am thinking so many unkind things about them right now. Poor Ratto. Honestly, with the horrible situation Oop and his kids are in right now, I am going to cling on to the hope that just maybe, at least the rat is out there thriving, living his best life. Maybe found a pack of rodents who were willing to adopt him as their own. He's probably just so happy to be away from all this conflict. I know it's all a lie, but it seems like the only possible glimmer of hope from this post at this point. Live on Little Rat. I feel sad for the daughter being so thoroughly brainwashed by mom. The irony of OOP's ex claiming he's manipulating their son against him when she got a rat for her daughter specifically to freak the GF out and get their daughter to stop visiting her dad.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.